So we have two adaptations of romantic properties that are opening this Valentine's week and Valentine's Day. One is an adaptation of a beloved novel, Winter's Tale, written in the early 80s by Mark Halperin and set in a sort of magical realist New York. And the other is About Last Night, which is a remake, a African-American Buppy remake of
Rob Lowe and
Demi Moore, which itself was a watering down of the David Mamet play Sexual Perversity in Chicago.
But it was a certain cultural
About Last Night, oh yeah, no, it's an echt 80s movie, if you will. And both of these movies arrive in theaters this week, and both of them are pretty bad. Let's start with Winter's Tale.
What's the best thing you've ever stolen?
I'm beginning to think I haven't stolen it yet.
Winter's Tale, which on the page is this 800-page novel that's just full of details and strange fantasies, so that at its center is this romance between a handsome burglar in 1916 New York and this consumptive rich girl that ends up sort of breaking out of time, and there's all sorts of like odd things that happen and great characters, and the movie just boils it down to Colin Farrell and that
not a bad place to boil it down to,
Downton
if you ask me, but still.
He's okay. The movie just gets really silly. There are flying horses. There's Russell Crowe as a big bad gangster guy who's not just a big bad gangster guy. I'm not giving anything away. He's actually a demon.
Yeah.
And he's in league with Satan, who is played by a special guest star who I will not tell you who it is, but when he comes on screen, the audience I was with burst into laughter, which is really not what the devil should be
No,
created
probably
with.
not. The choreographed fight scenes look like Les Miserables.
But the whole thing has that sort of faux digital look of Les Mis.
Yeah.
That big, epic, fake, pixelized look.
With no music.
It's kind of a guilty pleasure. I think, you know, Winter's Tale you might come to in a couple of years with a bowl of Chubby Hubby late at night on Stars, and you might be happy. Because it's just chowder-headed enough to kind of work on that level, but it's not a good movie. The other adaptation is About Last Night.
Shaking your hand. Why? Debbie, man. How do you know this? The roommate, your girl or my girl? She's not my girl. Did you text her, Danny? I don't have her number. You're gonna get it? After all that stuff you did last night, she gonna find you.
I'm sorry, but no matter what we're going to say about this next, they just should have left it alone. It was a perfectly fine Rob Lowe, Demi Moore piece of fluff from David Mamet.
I don't share the love for that film that a lot of people do. I think it's fine. I got no problem with it.
But a soft spot for
yeah, as many people do. So fine. I have no problem with that. The new version stars Michael Ealy, Joy Bryant as the straight couple, you know, the boring couple. The characters actually call themselves that, and you have to agree, despite Michael Ealy being a very good actor. And Kevin Hart and Regina Hall as their sort of scrappy, cynical friends. Kevin Hart is very funny. That's all this movie has going for it. It has, you know, what was long, 40 years ago, David Mamet wrote a play about the failure of modern relationships to work, and it was bleak, and it was Mamety, and it was funny and nasty.
Fast-paced.
And About Last Night, the '86 version, you know, kind of gave it a happy ending and mainstreamed it, but it's still a perfectly okay movie.
It was very brat-packy, but it was good for its place.
This is as generic a romantic comedy as I've seen in, I mean, I was saying in my review, you could take your honey to it for Valentine's Day, but honestly, a dozen fake roses and a card from CVS would be more personal.
So what does this say about modern love?
This says that we have to do it ourselves because the movies ain't going to do it for us anymore. You got to see one. I guess I'd go for Winter's Tale because it's just loony enough to be interesting.
Or go take your date to some Oscar contenders, and leave it at that.
Or read About Last Night.
Or go to the Lego Movie.
There you go.
That's a good.
That'll be a turn on. I'm Ty Burr.
I'm Janice Page.
For the Boston Globe. Happy Valentine's Day.